Hello, everyone. Welcome to Christopher's Entertainment Blog. I'm your host, Chris. Once again, another episode of The Flash for Season 1. We're already at Episode 3. It's entitled Things You Can't Outrun. And already in full swing, guys. Episode 3. And we got introduced to a new villain in this episode, and that was Kyle Nimbus, aka The Mist. And what a interesting, interesting bad guy that he can create these toxic gas powers because he was on death row and he was sent to the gas chamber, I guess, and so like when he was dying, the particle accelerator blew up, and then he was like affected by that because he had all this like in his body. So now he's got the ability to create this toxic gas. It's a pretty cool villain, really. But all these villains, it seems like the last few episodes that or all three so far, are like pretty powerful villains that are kind of more powerful than Barry. I mean, you got the guy who can create, he can create the wind and the storm like abilities, and then you got the guy that can create multiple versions of himself, which is pretty badass. And then you got this guy, the Mist, who can create this toxic gas. So, very interesting rogues gallery of bad guys so far. But it's kind of unfortunate that it's like the flavor of the week, like villain of the week. It's just like, okay, we got this bad guy. Now he's caught. Now let's go on to the next bad guy. It's like pretty soon they're going to have to keep like a certain like major bad guy. It's probably going to be the Reverse Flash, obviously. But yeah, I mean, so far it's, pretty cool characters. I just can't wait until we get like a big main villain that we stick at, instead of having this same reoccurring thing. It's 3 episodes now that we've had 3 pretty cool bad guys that are just like in and out quick, that he takes care of in just, 1 episode. But, it's like a, small nitpick. It's not that big a deal, but hopefully we'll get a main bad guy, and I'm sure they're working up to that. We're only episode 3, so they're working up to that. That's going to be probably the Reverse Flash. Like I said, he's like the main villain for the Flash. So, and there was news that Gorilla Grodd is going to be a character in this season, I believe. So that's something to look forward to. Other big news though that was announced is that the Flash got picked up for a full season slate. So we're going to have 22 episodes now for this season, season 1. And it was like 12 or 13, I think. And now they've been picked up for a full season. So that's great news. So we're going to get a lot of the Flash this first season. So that's great. Yeah, we still see the drama between Iris and Eddie Thrawn. They're going behind Joe's back and, doing the dating thing. And we see that how, Barry's still kind of, disapproving of that. And we see Joe that's all he finds out, and he's also kind of disapproved, but what can he do about it? But you can see that Iris is still trying to know who the Streak is. She's like investigating this streak going around the city. So she's getting she's getting the curiosity flow going, that she wants to find out who this guy is. So there's that. We also see Joe, that in this episode, he's like feels very bad that through all these last 14 years or so, that he's condemned Barry's father to prison. And all this time, Barry's been saying that he didn't kill his mother, and he was innocent. Joe would not believe him, saying that, you've seen these red streaks and yellow streaks and all this, and that you were, just a kid just trying to make something up to protect his father. And now he knows Joe knows the truth now, and you can see he feels really bad, really bad about what he said through the years about how, your father's a murderer. He killed your mother. And he was, all these years saying that, and now he's kind of like, oh boy, I'm gonna have to. The truth. He was telling the truth all along. I mean, he looks, like a like a jackass. He really looks bad. But I mean, in his defense, I mean, it did seem kind of, ridiculous that you're seeing these red and yellow streaks. I mean, and your father's uh, handprint or fingerprints were on the knife. So, yeah. But you can see he's digging back into the old files again. He's trying to find any type of evidence where he can get his father freed. So he feels really bad about that, and you can see it. You can really see it, and but yeah, that should be interesting to see how that manifests throughout this season. We also in this episode we seen Caitlin warm up a little bit to Barry. Which is quite, that was nice to see, actually. The last few episodes she's been quite cold, and, as a pun intended. We all know Caitlin Snow will eventually, well, in the comics anyway, she becomes Killer Frost. So, we'll see how that turns out. But it seems like there's something going on, some type of chemistry or something with Caitlin and Barry. We'll see how that manifest. But she was warming up to him and telling him stuff about her past, and there was some flashbacks from the past during the particle accelerator launch or activation that caused all this trouble, and the flashbacks were of Firestorm. Well, the guy who would become Firestorm, and that was Ronnie Raymond, and that was the fiance to Caitlin. And you see that like the particle accelerator starts to malfunction. He's got to go into it and try to save everybody is what was trying to do, and he kind of sacrifices himself. And but we all know that he becomes Firestorm. But he has like this alter ego though. It was Martin Stein. So I mean, you didn't see anybody else go in there unless there was like another guy, that was in there somewhere. But we'll see how they explain all that, and it should be interesting. But he will be in this season, Firestorm. But yeah, Ronnie Raymond is played by Robbie Amell. So it was nice. It was good to see Robbie Amell. I've watched a few other shows he was on, and of course, his cousin is Stephen Amell, who's Arrow, Team Arrow. So it's nice to have him in that same world. That's neat. So yeah, we've seen that backstory of him. Kind of cool. We'll see how Firestorm comes about. I can't wait to see that and how they explain all that. That should be fascinating. And we also got to see. They were talking. Well, they what they did was they took the Mist and they entrapped him in the particle accelerator, which is just like kind of shady business. You're entrapping him in this thing that could possibly maybe make him stronger. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. But it's like, whoa, this thing wasn't really designed to keep these dudes in there. But we'll see how that goes. And it's like, well, I mean, how are you going to feed these guys? Where are they going to go to the bathroom? I mean, you're going to like enslave all these dudes or capture, imprison all these bad guys, these metahumans inside this particle accelerator. I mean, there's not that many of you. I mean, is the Flash going to maintain this whole thing? I mean, it's kind of sketchy, but we'll see if they can maybe like reverse what's happened to them and take their powers away, and then maybe take them to the real prison, Iron Heights. Who knows? So how that will work in there, but. We also got to see the Dr. Wells at the end. That whole end scene, how he was like watching Barry the whole time, as this particle accelerator malfunctions and the lightning strikes him. It's like he planned the whole thing. So, I've been getting some feedback. Well, I've been getting some feedback from some of you guys watching. Telling me that Dr. Wells was like, he's from the future. So that's some news that, I didn't really know. So, yeah, he's from the future. And he can see into the future. So, it's very interesting. I mean, is he like, did he create all this to create these metahumans? It's like he created the Flash. I'm like he, made him. He set up everything to have that lightning strike him at that exact moment to create the Flash. So I mean, it's Wow. I mean, he's a mystery. I mean, he's quite a mystery character. He's like one of my favorite ones right now. I mean, I don't trust him, but he's kind of a mystery right now. So, he's killing dudes. He's lying to everybody. I mean, he can actually walk. I mean, there's a lot of like mystery behind him. So, we shall see, what his agenda is. I mean, is it good or bad? I mean, it seems like he wants to protect the Flash, but what's his intent? I mean, why? I mean, why did he have this all happen to him? I mean, is he dictating other people's lives too? All these metahumans, is he doing this? I mean, who knows? I mean, we shall see. We shall see indeed. But great episode, guys. That's gonna do it for me. Like and subscribe. Appreciate the support. If there's anything that I might have missed, or if you want to write in the comments below, let me know. And I'm grateful for the input, that's for sure, because I can't get everything. So let me know in the comments below if I missed anything. If you want to comment on this episode, let me know. And like and subscribe, and I'll be back next week. But I'm Chris for Christopher's Entertainment Blog. Thanks a lot, guys. Take it easy.